Registering for a conference on the new STFM website couldn't be easier. You can get to the conference registration page one of two ways, either through your profile or by choosing the conference directly. Here I've chosen registration information. It takes me to dates and prices, and here I can choose registration page. It will ask you to sign in. Once you've signed in, it takes you to your profile page. You can go directly to the conference which is open for registration. Here I've chosen STFM Annual Spring Conference. Once on the registration page, I can choose to register myself or somebody else. We'll begin by registering myself. You'll see down here towards the bottom a drop-down menu, which is already defaulting to Register Self. As you can see, my contact info, my addresses, and my communications data are all correct. I'll now click on Next. This brings me to Work Setting. This is where your medical school or residency program is entered. Any other info that's necessary. And here we choose the type of registration that you need. I will choose Student. Here I can also add any pre-conference workshops and optional sessions. I will go to these. You'll see prices at the end of each one. Hit Next. This brings us to the details page. If you've already filled in any of this information, you'll see the fields are already populated. If you need to make changes, feel free to do so. Let us know how you heard about this conference. And let us know if it's your first time attending. Please check here if you have a disability and may require special accommodations, and any special dietary needs that you may have. And hit Next. This takes you to the Submit page. Here you can acknowledge that you have read the terms and conditions, and at this point, the button for Save and Register Another Person becomes activated. I'm going to choose that. Now I do want to point out, we have yet to reach the shopping cart. You can see down here a list of who we've added to our cart. Now we're going to add another individual. I will click on the Search for Another Person to Register. This brings up a dialog box that allows me to search by name or their ID. I know the name of the individual, so I will type that in. At which point, all IDs matching those names will appear down here. I will click on the ID number. The page is reloaded, and you will see at the top who the selected registrant is. At this point, I will click Next and register this individual. Because that individual has already entered in their own contact information, in other words, because they are already a user of the STFM website, you don't have nearly as much information to look at. So you don't need to worry about changing their contact information or anything else about them. You will, however, want to add some additional details. For instance, whether or not they are one of these choices here. If you choose Other, you can write an additional professional role. Any field without an asterisk is optional, and we will hit Next. Once again, we acknowledge the terms and conditions, which activates both the Save and Register Another Person field as well as Pay Now. At this point, we will pay now. Here is the shopping cart. If you added pre-conference workshops or anything else to the shopping cart during the course of your registration, all of those items appear here. You have a quick delete for the full conference registration, or you can change quantities individually. If you do change quantities, make sure to update your cart at the end. Lastly, you have the choice to continue shopping. Your shopping cart is saved if you leave this page. In this case here, though, we will proceed to checkout. At this point, you'll enter in the invoice billing address. If it's already entered into your profile, it populates automatically. Alternatively, you can choose any of your addresses in your profile. You can also add an attention field. I will enter in a fake credit card. And if you require a purchase order, you can fill that in here. On the confirmation page, you will see that these two individuals have been registered. If you approve of what you see, click View Receipt. And everything is visible here. You may print or simply return to your profile. Note that at the bottom of your profile page, your sales history is visible. In this case here, I have 2 pages of history, and I can go to the next page simply by clicking this next button.